Hey everybody, Ash and Saib here. We have just taken in the EA press conference at E3. Your reactions?
2016.
2016.
2016.
This is
And my reactions is I laughed a lot and honestly felt that it was kind of a major letdown.
it was a little underwhelming, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
extraordinarily underwhelming, and here's why. Here's why. Basically, EA was like, okay, we want to host our own big press conference, and we're going to host it before anybody else does. Because, I mean, you look back at what Bethesda did in 2015, and wow, did they ever drop the mic?
It was
And
amazing. Yeah, it was
it was
incredible.
it was show stopping. There were people who were basically, well, best in show, and just like their jaws were dropped. I mean, they launched Shelter. Everybody was playing Shelter that whole week whilst they were doing all the other stuff. People in the lineups were playing Shelter, and we're having a great time. And so EA, in their infinite wisdom, said, "Hey, let's do the same thing, but we don't have a mic drop moment. We don't have a game that we've been secretly working on that we can announce. And as it turns out, they don't even have a solid 5-minute clip of gameplay for anything but Battlefield 1, which focuses around a fictitious World War One-ish story, sort of. It's kind of weird. So what they started with was some general stuff, and they walked into Titanfall 2. The big news there, which everybody was expecting, was that they're going to have single player in their game. Well, shocking, because everybody demanded it from the last one. They're gonna open it up. It's gonna be on PlayStation 4 as well as the Xbox. Again, not surprising if you looked at the sales numbers and if you looked at the statistics. That was kind of an absolute must-have. And then they walked into some FIFA stuff, some Mass Effect Andromeda stuff, which I'll come back to in a second. This Play to Give, EA Originals, which is like them reaching out to some indie studios. Then they briefly talked about Star Wars, and then they did a whole Battlefield 1 thing, and that is still going on as we speak. So none of what they brought, none of that stuff did they launch or talk about a new title. They said, yeah, we're still working on some of this stuff that's coming out. There's this new Star Wars thing coming out, but we're not talking about it yet. So why mention it? It's kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda. They've talked about it for years now, and each time they've given us less than a full minute worth of video, basically, and no gameplay to really speak of. And this time was no different. So especially with Mass Effect, big letdown from a lot of people who were expecting some actual heavy gameplay, and instead what they had was some gameplay that you could see on a guy's monitor while he was talking about how he was making the game, and then it kind of went back and forth between that and editing or creating something. So their showstopper that they had planned to have didn't actually have anything that stopped any part of the show or made any big announcement or made any kind of like big thing. There's no new content for any of the existing franchises. They said that there's tons of stuff coming this year, but they didn't actually say what.
They didn't say what. They didn't show us anything.
Yeah.
So what are we supposed to take from this?
If you're gonna try and upstage E3, maybe have something to upstage it with. Now, the Battlefield 1, that looks interesting, and there's some real potential there. I definitely think that it's definitely going to give Call of Duty a run for its money, and I suspect that it's going to have some pretty cool stuff. The single player trailer for Titanfall 2 was pretty cool. I really like how they've embrace the story of the Titans and kind of like their AI and how they function. That's really cool, and the trailer is looking really, really cool and really, really awesome. But as far as EA trying to upstage E3 or trying to showcase it, this whole press conference, absolutely nothing new, nothing shocking, and pretty much kind of their horse kind of limped out of the stall on the races, basically. So, what do you think of it? That's what I thought of it.
I mean, I'm very much in agreement. It was highly underwhelming. I think it seemed like they were trying to use Battlefront 1 as their show-stopping, not Battlefront, Battlefield 1 as their showstopper, but it was what was the one thing I took away from their press coverage on that? Well, it has more intuitive destruction. I don't even know what that means. It seems like, okay, we made the world better, we made the physics better, which I think should just be a given for, as games and game engines advanced. I think that stuff's obviously going to get better. So
I'll give them a props on the whole weather and changing, like, hey, this one battlefield that you're going to be fighting on, one time you play it, it's going to be like clear and sunny, and that's going to have your tactics be one thing, and then the next time you get there, it's going to be super foggy and rainy and dark, and then that's going to change your tactics, and then the next time you play it, it's going to be like nighttime, and that's going to change it. Like, those are things that needed to happen.
Yes, well, exactly. It needed to happen, but it's been happening in other games for years now. So it really didn't seem like a showstopper to me.
It wasn't the huge reveal that I was expecting when I heard that they were going to be doing this whole E3 preemptive show, and they had a lot of sound issues, and they had like one or two like super minor technical things, and then they had, like, in one case they had some cameras on people that I guess were not expecting to have cameras on them, and that's always hilarious when that happens, and then somebody like looks up the screen and they realize that they're on the screen, and then they look back and they're all like awkward and stuff, and it's like again, it's like I hate to see these devs come up on the stage and try their best to give a really good, like, rousing performance when they're really, really terrible at public speaking. And that's not their fault, because they're really good at designing games or doing other things. But at this point, that is kind of why you need somebody to come in and talk for you. It does kind of help in some of these regards, but as far as the show in general, really lackluster boost. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We are excited about some of their titles. I am big Mass Effect fan. Really excited for this game. Really disappointed that we didn't see something. Hopefully we're going to see a 5-minute gameplay trailer come out sometime this week. But if they didn't bring it out here today, I don't know if
when are they going to do it? Why would they?
Yeah.
Why would they let that go? So
we hope to see some more stuff from especially BioWare later this week. But for what we have right now, it's a little dry. It's a little unexciting, and that's good, because I am stoked for Bethesda tonight. I am stoked for Bethesda tonight.
I was just going to say, they've set the bar really low
for
what's coming next. So hopefully...
I don't think anybody's going to have a difficult time jumping over that hurdle that they just put down. So
it's like the skater at the Olympics when the skater that goes before them falls on their face.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay, so as long as I don't
as long
myself,
as I don't face plant, I'm sure that we'll be okay. So pretty much everybody else, that's your goal. Now, mind you, again, Bethesda's coming out tonight. Let's see what they got.
Well, if they're obviously they're gonna try to upstage what they did last year, and if they pull it off, well, it's just gonna be mind blowing. So yes, we're very, very excitedly looking forward to that.
So please like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. What do you think is your favorite, and what are you looking forward to this week. We're going to have a ton of fun. Hop in, join the conversation.